Disconnected. User entered your channel. User left your channel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the wow, that's easy on that laptop is working so hard. Go between like 20%, 100%.
Disconnected.
Wow, that laptop is working so hard. It's working overtime. How old that secret? They actually got it in, I think it was January 2010. And the thing is, the memory is actually holding up pretty well. It's only using between 1 and 2 memories max. I think it's like 4 gig, but it was using anti so much power. it is only, actually remember, it is only an i3 CPU, but it's working pretty darn hard. I actually remember when it was using a laptop a couple of years ago. I got this new PC working much better than my old in back. Then actually, that was a couple of years ago. It was working so hard, doing its job so well. Now, even now, it is it is working very hard. So yeah, it has Windows 7 and CPU is only an i3, but it's working pretty well. Yeah, I will admit, Don, it is. I mean, yeah, I do look quite tired. It's almost 8 o'clock here, and I've been up since about 7:30 this morning. So. Yeah, I always seem to look tired when I'm on a webcam. Nice, able to keep them open. All right. I actually left. I was playing Bus Simulator, Messiah, and for some reason my problem is the fact that having, because Google Chrome takes up about equal to the memory, and that over running the game as well makes it relax. I'm sure you'll make it to stream, John. I'm gonna try and stream on my birthday next week. But it depends really. To be fair, turning 15 on Wednesday, I think I should definitely be tried by then. But in case of actually streaming, it probably won't be that long of a stream at the end of the day. Yeah, yeah. No, I actually have the link. I actually have what you're listening to. And I can play it right now. Actually, I actually did the
$500 billion
internet
has
stream.
U.S. officials concerned about how this could affect the safety and availability of heparin. That's an important blood thinner derived from pig intestines that is widely used in U.S. heart surgery and kidney dialysis.
Yeah, RBN.
In 2007 and 8, 94 Americans died after being treated with contaminated heparin. An increasing percentage of vaccines is manufactured in China and sold in U.S. pharmacies. China boasts of 30 vaccine-producing companies that will soon be producing 1 billion doses a year.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Eagle Forum. Want your voice heard? At eagleforum.org, in a blog conversation with Phyllis Schlafly, we want to hear your firsthand experience with the U.S. unemployment crisis. Where did the jobs go? Is the solution more government spending or cutting taxes? Join the blog at eagleforum.org. Thanks for listening, and join us next time for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
Want something different from your detox? Then you want Hemp
No,
USA's microplant
Liberty
powder for
Radio
a full-body
Network.
detox. With 7 formulations and 8 different sizes, you will feel and see the difference. And the best part? It's only about $10 a month. Our customers love it, and we ship worldwide. Get the detox difference. Get microplant powder from hempusa.org. Call 888-910-4367 or visit hempusa.org. See what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you at hempusa.org.
Come to Finca Baiano, a small community in Panama, which is being established for people who believe that a future crisis may be difficult to survive in North America after a collapse of the system. Go to bugoutpanama.com
So what do they
for more
talk about?
information. There is
Liberty
limited
Radio
space
Network.
for 100 people only. Go to bugoutpanama.com to
Is it
immigrate
like
as long as you
RBN?
can. Repair. Don't despair at bugoutpanama.com.
World-renowned physician and stem cell expert Dr. David Steenblock, DO, and his research staff have spent years developing all-natural formulations that support the body's own stem cell production and mobilization system. An everyday stem cell supplement, creating the birth of StemGevity. StemGevity stem cell mobilization formula is for use by men, women, and children of all ages to support your body's stem cell system naturally, quickly, and safely. StemGevity helps support your heart and circulatory system, bones and joints, liver, skin, brain, and much more. Order your bottle now at StemGevity.com today.
Talks about
That's
lots of different things.
StemGevity, StemGevity.com. Or call now toll-free, 800-300-1063. Buy 2 bottles and receive a 3rd bottle free by mentioning RBN. Anyone who wants to get healthy needs StemGevity. Call 800-300-1063 today.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is now made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your Pure Effect Ultra today by visiting pureffectfilters.com
what we actually have.
or call
The only radio station we have is one
888-891-4821.
by
Again, that's
Demand Line,
888-891-4821.
which basically
Or
is all
visit
radio station, which
pureffectfilters.com.
talks about various stuff, and there's one about, well, there's one that's literally about politics,
Get back at 'em with
basically talks
Rick
about our
Adams,
governments and
the radio
whatever
Avenger
stuff like
on
that.
the Republic Broadcasting
And the rest of them mainly are just music radio stations. Some of them aren't too
Hour
bad,
number
but
2 now, and Art will be
some
coming up in a
can
few
play
minutes
very
or so,
annoying
the next
music.
break. So I want to get back to Steve now in California. Steve, as you were saying about the email response that you received?
Yeah, the email response I received from the AACN, American Association of Critical Care Nurses, basically, the first email I received basically said, you know, we're working with the CDC to find out better how to treat these patients if they come into your hospital. So I voiced back my concern. I was actually in frustration because that's how they answered back. They said, we share your frustration, which I thought was kind of odd to say that. But
considering
they show a worker with a hazmat suit holding a child's hand, a little African child's hand.
It is pretty
and they're telling you that, well, it's not airborne, and everything is contradictory, basically coming out of the mouth of the CDC. So the feeling was on the AACN, they came back, the president wrote to me and said, we share your frustration. As I said, why are you going to take anything that comes out of their mouth as having any kind of validity or credibility? I mean, geez, everything they say is just the opposite. Look at the pictures. The picture tells you the story, and they're telling you this. So they basically said they shared the same frustration. You know, I see what's coming on down the road. I really do. I see the Ebola vaccine. I see the pharmaceuticals getting a pass from the FDA and the government pushing it, saying go for it. They're going to bypass all the laws and regulations from the FDA about testing and trials on this vaccine, and basically use the situation if you don't take it, you can't go to work, your employer will not let you work. They're going to use every strategy in the book that they can to get this thing kicked off. And as far as one of the other callers said about, you were talking about the investigative journalists, there are no Edward R. Murrows anymore out there. There are. If there are, they don't last very long. They're usually taken out. That's the sad part about it, is we should be questioning everything that comes out of their mouth. And actually, whenever I hear something come out of the government's mouth, I look to just the opposite, because I know their standing record is so poor of telling the truth that I know I can't take it. We're serious.
Well, that's good to start with. You know, I mean, many of them have worked with the government for a long time, you know, Murrow in particular, but those that are on the outside usually get isolated in the media and wind up getting nowhere. The thing that is important to remember here is that just this past week, Obama signed another executive order to extend the order that Bush Jr. gave us with regard to Directive 51. And if you recall, Directive 51, Bush said we could shut down everything, we can nationalize the economy, and we can have martial law at the flip of a hat. If I decide that a disaster somewhere in the country is a national disaster, then we can impose Directive 51. Now, he never did after 9/11, but Obama says he's ready to do it. He's ready to do it if, in fact, there are a number of cases in enough states that warrant it, okay? Basically, this is what he'd say. So, again, like you've just said, and I've just said, we have no confirmation of anything. All we have is stories, and particularly stories that affect only one group of people from one part of the world originally. And it has nothing to do with anything else. How many white cases or cases of whites with Ebola have you seen? Have you heard of any yet?
No, I haven't.
None. And you know, this is very suspicious because in this part of Africa, there is a direct corridor, specifically with the Mossad and with MI6 and CIA, involving these people that come on airlines to the United States, and particularly where I live now, we have quite a population of them. And this is becoming a story of local interest, you see. So it could very well be, like I said, the beginning of a flashpoint or control. Now, I'm not going to predict it, but I will say that it's possible, and it's likely to.
Well, you know, I'm suspicious right off the bat when they're sending soldiers. I mean, we're not talking about going after terrorists. We're talking about a disease here. So what purpose would 4,500 soldiers on the ground, boots on the ground, have to do with Ebola? That's suspicious right off the bat right there. And then knowing the resources that are in the ground of which this country wants. It's about a resource grab. It's about using a crisis. You know, Winston Churchill used to say, let no crisis go without a benefit, or something like that effect. You know, don't ever let a crisis go to waste.
Well, if you hate rain, Don, you would hate
But you know something else
you
that's
wouldn't
interesting?
like
Tom
the
Lagerberg
UK.
on his show played a couple.
You get to, as you may know,
One with Greta
may
Van
not know
Susteren,
yet,
I think everybody's
a
pretty
lot
much
of
familiar
rain.
with her. But
Yeah,
she was
especially
actually
winter,
interviewing an author of a new book
whenever really
coming
you
out
get rain,
called The Wrath of Death.
you know, get in small
And I listened
quantities,
to a
medium
little bit
quantities,
Tom's
or quite
clip
heavy
that he played
quantities.
that she was interviewing. She didn't pose any tough questions.
And the
He actually
moment
played
that
quite well into his
hurricane
hands.
hit,
He came off looking like an expert, a terrorism expert in this book. He just plugged this
he was
book
the
all
East
the way
Coast,
on the interview.
USA.
So I looked him up.
Yeah, what
His
the
name
name
is William
is.
R. Forston. He's a fiction writer. He's written 3 books prior to this Wrath of Death. He's a
on the
fiction
after
writer.
effects of that.
And this book here he's plugging now is basically saying ISIS is here. They're ingrained. They're
pretty
embedded.
much.
They're going to strike next at your children's school, killing children and teachers, and that's how they're going to strike next. He came off as an expert. She allowed him to come off as an expert instead of posing tough questions. Never. She probably doesn't even know he's a fiction writer. So she just allowed the fear, propagated the fear of his book.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're going to see a lot more of that, too.
That was pretty
Especially
sad.
from
the guy comes
CNN in particular, and from the other
Connected.
networks. It's going to be a
Channel
non-stop
switched.
barrage of propaganda. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
We'll let you go for now. Let me see if I can bring up a couple of others here. Rebel in Colorado, and Robert. Hello, Rebel.
I talked to you last week. I live in Lakewood, Jefferson County, Colorado, and 5 miles
Evening.
south of here is my associate. I'm Red, she's Bubba, she's Scout. We live in 2 different residences. And we're all over the internet. We pass it along, twitter.com /Bubba Scout Red. 13 letters starts with B, ends with B, and it's
Evening.
with reply, because you'll see everything we put, and we use the new terminology of the 21st century, and it's called GINI, Government Intruder No Intelligence. It fits in the Twitter page because you don't got much space. And,
hello?
Well, people were confused. Who are these enemies? Well,
It's my fault, Matthew, not your microphone.
Allegedly for enforcement and
Hello?
for the laws of America.
Oh, can hear you now. It does help if I unmute my speakers.
To destroy the USA from within and the white
Yeah,
race.
I'm in
That's right.
TeamSpeak at the moment.
You got pale skin and long blonde hair on your head. You're in danger, Whitey.
How's yourself?
That's what we found out.
Not bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Enemy
I got a break for the
in America.
I got my cousin. I got my
Look you. I might not be on till later on tomorrow morning because I need to get some videos out.
Let's see, Robert, can start first. Robert, come on up.
Hey, Rick. Fascinating, this cognitive dissonance.
I haven't ordered a headset yet because I've simply refused to pay the prices that they are. So, yeah, a decent one is like 30 quid, which is like almost half my birthday money. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, I won't be buying your pedals because I'm not getting a H shifter because the prices have gone up.
And they don't worry about it. I'll get rid of the pedals somehow. I may burn them. I may burn them if I have to.
Well, there is a chance I may, if you're prepared to wait until near Christmas, there is a chance that I may be getting the shifter for Christmas.
Yeah, I can wait that long.
Right, so I'll see you then. Good dodge you look out for today. Right, I'll see you in a couple of minutes, just need to look to the bulb.
Technology that they're going to use to really move with a real bioweapon on us that's going to make Ebola look like child's play.
Well, let me ask you this, Robert. Do you remember the ethnic bomb issue that was raised with regard to the Zionist regime and how it was, obviously received condemnation in the New York Times as soon as it was published? Hold on.
Your dog's
get the
actually
break, Manny? Okay, take the break. Hold on, I want you to answer that question, Robert. We'll be right back.
I suppose steering with a mouse is not too sensitive. Isn't too bad because I've actually tried it.
Government agency.
I get on okay with it, but my problem is when I'm
to learn to
rated,
or
I don't
volunteering
hit
into the
the keyboard
IRS.
so.
Visit escapeharassment.com and immediately implement Strategy 1. The process must be repeated each and every time. Paper, letter, envelope, presentment, etc. Always and forever.
Yeah, well, I have.
Equates to acceptance.
What type of steering wheel would you
and you pay
want
or go to jail by your own consent and agreement.
I actually have an old steering wheel. It's Logitech Drive 4 GT and it still works perfectly fine.
Bar lawyers and accountants won't help you. Why wait? Get Strategy 1 and immediately implement it to divorce the IRS today and forever. That's escapeharassment.com. Strategy 1 to be free from the IRS. Escapeharassment.com.
First Amendment privacy is rare. Kryptonite.com has data encryption software for your protection. Kryptonite.com keeps information safe from NSA spying, cloud data mining, identity theft, and corporate espionage with encryption protection, giving you 100% privacy in conversations, data storage, and transmission. Keeping your free speech safe from data theft with the best encryption software in the market for easy-to-use, low-cost data security. Kryptonite.com, CRYPTONYTE.com.
Yeah, I used to have a driving force GT. Well, actually, I still do. I just don't use it anymore. But it's a pretty decent. It's a very good steering wheel for its money.
Gear.com. Set your sights on
StrikeHardGear.com.
Tough, tactical,
pretty bad for
Soviet-style weapons.
You know, they get the job done.
Affordable, plus a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. StrikeHardGear.com. Go ahead, pull the trigger.
World-renowned physician and stem cell expert Dr. David Steenblock, DO, and his research staff have spent years developing all-natural formulations that support the body's own stem cell production and mobilization system. An everyday stem cell supplement, creating the birth of StemJevity. StemJevity stem cell mobilization formula is for use by men, women, and children of all ages to support your body's stem cell system naturally, quickly, and safely. StemJevity helps support your heart and circulatory system, bones and joints, liver, skin, brain, and much more. Order your bottle now at StemJevity.com today. That's StemGevity. StemJevity.com. Or call now toll free 800-300-1063. Buy 2 bottles and receive a 3rd bottle free by mentioning RBN. Anyone who wants to get healthy needs StemJevity. Call 800-300-1063 today.
Decent equipment. It's like 600 euros, is it? Yeah, it's like 600 euros for the base Mavic set, and the top end set costs over 1,000 euros. Pretty crazy.
Robert from Missouri, good friend and host. Robert, how's the show coming, by the way?
It's good, Rick. According to the board op last week, I had some pretty decent numbers, and so not a lot of people don't know about the show yet. It's on midnights Central on Sunday nights, RBN.
Right. But you are there, and you've been on for about a month or so now, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I'm digging into some interesting stuff. So,
good.
Yeah,
now the question I asked you, did you get the question that I asked you as far as the subject matter that we've broached? You remember the ethnic bomb issue at the time of the Bush War?
Yeah, with the Project for a New American Century.
And there was a British scientist who wound up suiciding himself. Kelly, do you remember that?
Oh, Dr. David Kelly, sure.
Dr. David Kelly, and at the time it was said that in Israel, quote unquote, that there was this move to develop an ethnic bomb that would kill off non-Jews but not Jews. And that would indicate, of course, the different biological makeup of these particular souls. So at the time, of course, it received heated denunciation in the New York Times. I wonder why, right? But in any event, at that particular time, that subject disappeared from off the radar. Never again was it mentioned. And yet we know that these diabolical souls within Jerusalem are working or have worked and maybe have completed what they consider to be their ethnic bomb. And this is very deep stuff we're talking about. Have you given that any thought lately with regard to what we're being told now?
Well, I have, because, you know, everybody talks about the Project for a New American Century with 9/11, and that's the big, you know, smoking gun, of course, with the new Pearl Harbor and the catalyzing event and so forth and so on that is mentioned in that document. But also in that document, and Dick Cheney was really big into this aspect, was race-specific bioweapons. And that's mentioned in the PNAC document, Rebuilding America's Defenses, which was released about a year before 9/11. And so these demons, these people that, you know, they're planning, basically, they want to be able to take out any group of people that they want to at any one time through biological means, whether they be Africans, whether they be Europeans, whether they be from India or Iran or whatever. They want to be able to selectively use biological weapons against anybody they want at any time. And so
biochemical, without taking out the structure of the physical landscape, right?
Well, of course, because they want to take out the organic impediments, which we call human beings, which they call land or cattle. And then they want, of course, they want to be able to resume their lives as normal, take the Earth's population way down, so, you know, the chosen can get all of us useless eaters out of the way, and that's what it's really about. So I'm worried about some of these things right here on the horizon, and, you know, the intellectual knuckle-dragger public, America, they're so dumb and they're so sheep-like that they cannot discern the operations being used against them, unfortunately, and they're like sheeps to the slaughter. And there's not enough sheepdogs, you know, like you or I or those of us on RBN and a few other networks out here that, you know, the mind control is so deep, it's so pervasive, it's so hardcore that, you know, the people that I come in contact with at my job and so forth and so on, my gosh, it's a really tough nut to crack. You know, I try to, you know, give them more schools here and there. I try to plant seeds, and hopefully they'll get watered and then they'll grow. But I'll tell you what, I was known as the crazy for the last few years, let's say, in circles of friends, and guess what? I'm not so crazy anymore. Just put it that way.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, the one problem with having several hundred bots in the chat, they all try and do what?
And wisdom and discernment.
Like, yeah, they all try and, because like I've got Zambot kicking Nightbot, who's kicking Moonbot.
Such a, you know, but a lot of us have to work for it to where we, you know, God's like, you know what, this guy has done his diligence, and I'm going to increase his knowledge. I'm going to increase his wisdom and discernment. And,
yeah, well,
you know, it's really tough because they're taunting
if you have,
these demons that run this planetary system are taunting those of us that are awake with their little operations, because we can see it, but those inside this Zio matrix are
you have automatic updates turned off
until they wake up. And so they'll throw you under the bus in half a second if they think it'll get them somewhere or keep them safe or et cetera, et cetera.
It is what it is, and what we're seeing is a play out in this world age of what happened before. You know, Genesis 1, 1, and 2, and God had to destroy that, and He'll do it again. He'll destroy the wicked.
All sorts. There's like hundreds of commands for it.
You know, that's the greatest sin today. Is what it was then. It is the sin of wanting to be God. It is the sin of pride.
Yeah,
and
if you have
wanting
the
to
latest
change
version
the planet for themselves. And all of these people have that common trait, you know, that they're just possessed.
If you have the latest
the average
version,
person,
I'll show some
like
of them
me,
on my stream after.
Well, we just want to just do good, and we want to help
if you have the latest version
at the same time.
You simply just press the tilde key
he does take
above the key on the top left of the keyboard. Just drop that, press that, and
rather than tinkering with it at every stinking level.
Press that and type in the command what you need.
Genetic enhancement, this nanotech.
There's all sorts of like echo, edit, goes to the map editor, game reloads the game.
God destroyed the earth the first time with the flood because the entire gene pool was corrupted. Where if you read the book of Enoch, it said that they sinned even against the plants and the animals. What do you think that is? That's tinkering.
Yeah, you can do pretty much everything with it.
Because, like I said, we are seeing that happen.
You can edit all the config in the game.
Satan knows that time is almost up.
It's more for developers, but people use it for like when they can't drive like me.
Kitchen sink, but it ain't gonna work. So let's carry on.
I use it for when I need to teleport mainly.
People listen in to Robert's program here on RBN. Okay, thank you, Bob. Good to hear from you, as always. Art in Philadelphia now is entering the stage, and hello, Art. How are you?
Good, Rick. How are you doing today?
Fine. It's good to hear your voice again, and I know we want to set the table up for the last half hour of the show, and you, I'm sure, have a lot to say about what we've been seeing now in many of these people on this issue.
Bud was quite good at this morning.
Again, saying it doesn't exist.
Oh, what you did?
But it's interesting to
we
see
played some quite good pieces.
Characters that's emerging and will emerge in the next few years.
Like we played Wicked, music from Wicked, Trailblaze, Rock Music 3, loads.
I see it's basically just look at Wall Street, who's going to make the money. And obviously, notice this is happening to where
let's carry on from last night.
The flu shot. Okay? So, which pharmaceutical company is going to come out and we got the Ebola vaccine and have all the money and run to the doctors or third pharmaceuticals to get their Ebola shot and make that.
I don't know.
Yeah, he actually.
You know, it's interesting though you say that with Monsanto now. They say they've reported record losses.
The AI is just thick. Well,
156
that's the only way of putting it.
This past quarter or something to that effect. With
I
regard
hope they improve before they bring out ATS and whatever.
Farmers in great numbers are abandoning.
Well, so probably won't buy that instantly anyway.
Not very happy with the results. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do now. Not just in Europe, but here in the United States.
It's definitely Europe,
get back
said.
that business. So you have the
pharmaceuticals
and them.
Anyone's said. The Euro Truck definitely does need more stuff doing to it to make it more realistic and stable before a new game comes out, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
Yep, Nick has a...
It's the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible?
I saw you go on Brainstorm 2015 earlier.
Yeah, on my new laptop, innit, so it's totally different.
Been able to set it to max graphics.
I set it to max graphics, edited some of the map, which you can never do on my old laptop, and even it loads in like 30 seconds now on this new machine.
At libertystickers.com. Again, that's libertystickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Oh yeah, that
yeah, well, my sister's birthday as well today, so I was kind of stalling so I could say happy birthday to her and sing happy birthday like we have to.
We are to deadly viruses, bacteria, and fungus. These diseases are all caused by infectious pathogens that often get the upper hand on conventional medical treatments. Now more than ever, there's a great need for a product that will help protect us. Look no further.
Supernatural
Silver can provide immune system support to help fight off these deadly pathogens.
That rig and rolling game game.
Supernatural silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that's
Rig and roll
extremely effective against
Rig and
143 types of bacteria, both forms of
Rigs
viruses,
and
mold,
rolls?
and yeast.
Natural
silver can be taken orally
Is it an STS game?
and can be used in a nebulizer or vaporizer for inhalation. With over 100
Never heard of
scientific
it.
studies by independent universities, hospitals, and research institutions, supernatural silver is a powerful weapon against disease. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off your
Oh, well, that
entire
was
order.
rubbish, so,
Give you
you
and
know.
your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
This is Dr. Robert Rowan, here to give you
I reckon they're going to take some of the stuff from 18 Wheels of Steel and put it in ATS.
Stem cell expert and friend Dr. David Steenblock has performed over 8,000 stem cell treatments since 2001. Bone marrow stem cells are completely legal to do here in the USA. The bone marrow stem cell treatment is not only fast, but done in less than 2 to 3 hours.
There are several old games that have decent AI. I mean, I suppose the only reason SDS still doesn't have very good AI in their games
traumatic brain injury, stroke, macular degeneration, arthritis, Parkinson's disease.
I suppose it's still quite a small company, so they just can't get it right.
Dr. David Steenblock is highly recommended by me.
But I hope at some point they should get it right, because they definitely need to.
800-300-1063 to find out more. Again, stem cell.
Hey Matthew, I'm in Manchester, my hometown.
In Trainston.
What game are you playing, Matthew?
Says you're playing Trainston 2015.
Well, they shouldn't do.
Here's what people are saying.
That's what Steam notification said.
When was that?
A couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm playing Euro Truck in Manchester.
My medical doctor, and I went to see him, and he could not
Yeah,
believe it.
I see what you mean. I mean, yeah, the basics, yeah, the AI are there. It's just, I suppose, the smartness
To get your
of it is.
Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822 or
It could
visit
be a lot worse, that's for sure. I still remember the AI when the game first came out. That was terrible.
To be honest, tonight I'm doing what I'd call a casual live stream, which is kind of just, it's there. If you want to watch me play, watch me play. I might read chat. If you really want proper live stream, like actual honest episode, like you're on the wrong channel tonight, because I don't do it. I do it on a Sunday, I do it on a Friday.
Rick here, and we are talking with Art now.
However, I will be, I'm a big announcement. By the way, my 12/12 stream's going to be on Monday. My 10/10 stream, sorry, the Monday of the holidays.
Realize with Obamacare, basically, just like they did with the high-tech industry.
So, whatever time you can rock up, feel free.
Basically destroy the medical industry.
Yeah, I'll probably go on some point in the morning, be in the afternoon then, from about 6 to 10 in the afternoon, so.
Yeah, cool.
Insurance bill to make it profitable for them. So that's what I see going on. Very similar to what they're doing in education.
Well, you're actually going to stream it.
You know, basically get the taxpayers on the hook to pay for
well, bit of everything.
Paying your basically your property taxes, and you.
All right, so now we're entering into the end of 2014, the next phase of Obamacare set to take.
If I'm honest, bit of everything.
How do you see this Ebola scare playing into the legislation?
Obviously, when you come on, if you're a Farm Sim MP or an ETS MP or whatever, I'll do it. But any other point, I'll just play whatever I feel like playing or whatever anyone wants me to play.
Quarantine going on.
Yeah.
Who is getting rich by this? Okay.
Most likely now, I won't be playing ETS multiplayer till the new version comes out for 1.13 or 1.14.
Keep immigration coming in from West
Yeah, well,
Africa.
ETS multiplayer's out at the moment.
Deliberate action by
not for
1.13.
No. And
we need to find out who's on this
the next patch is going to be the big new release of version 1 instead of 0.
A lot of people talked about Ebola.
And I'm guessing that's for 114 comes out.
Alright, veterans
Yep, we're going to release it for 114. Some of these loads are massive.
Since I wrote NoPlaceForCorruption.com, he's done nothing more than what I've done, where he's basically cited on his website the protocols of Zion and cited Israelis' war crimes. So he's being prosecuted in Canada under the Human Rights Act, Section 13, which says that he's a hate criminal. His nemesis is Harry Adams of B'nai B'rith of Canada. B'nai B'rith of Canada is nothing but a front for the Brosnan-Kine family. Okay, the same gangsters that work for
Arms and multiplayer, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to serve a new multiplayer word for
next
that.
year.
New multiplayer world for that.
In our country, we have the anti-defamation law pushing no place for hate in every state. And also
but now you've got
U.S. Senator
well, a bit better PC. You can post a game perfectly fine now, can't you really?
Yeah, without frying. I 1 my bedroom, 2 the house, and 3 myself. 4 my graphics card, 5 my PC.
Yeah.
Another issue that came up was the city of Philadelphia. The schools are absolutely in riots right now. They took away all their benefits with the School Reform Commission for the teachers, and they actually protested on the street. They walked out off the job yesterday on Thursday and shut down the main artery of the city over this issue. So one of the things I did is,
Right, I'm in Sheffield, going for my massive 70-ton sickleback.
What's going on, and let them basic, since they have a big fund with the teachers.
Because there's obviously a war in Poland, because that's where I'm taking it.
So I let them know that obviously in this election, if people want to make a change positively in Pennsylvania, they need to get rid of Governor Trump.
I don't really like it. I mean, it's good for realism, but it's almost too realistic. Like, it's almost incompletable if you're not ace at driving.
There's a bunch of U.S.
downloaded it today. I haven't been able to play it at all today because whenever I try to play it just says that Steam servers are too busy to take for request, error code, brackets 53.
Yeah, mine did that for ages yesterday until I finally got it to kick in. Yeah, it's alright, but like once you get into it, there's one that's in free mode, you do 1 race, and then it goes straight into career mode, where you've got to get into a club, and that is like solid to get into. I haven't done it yet, and I've done 6 races.
Mayor of Houston,
yeah, I do like it. Look at the sale course.
If you ask my opinion, it's stupid. The game is too realistic. It's gone over the line.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can't adjust how realistic it is even worse.
Condemnation of homosexuality and the like. And this is another obvious
Have you got 30 seconds to jump onto my screen, because you trust me, you want to see what my load is. It's huge.
Yeah, I'll do that quickly.
Well, it's more than that. Basically, those people support gay and moral decay, like the mayor of Houston, are basically nothing but, again, a front for the Anti-Defamation League pushing this hate speech. Whenever you
that's it. Christianity is the target. And who's the target? It's the types. It's the same synagogue of Satan, right?
Yeah, it's the Brosnan crime family.
That's where it's coming from, yeah.
Right. The ADLs are nothing but a puppet for the Brosmans. That's what it
more
is.
Views than a dude with 500.
Look at the Brosnan crime family. Look at their assets and start protesting with their
Pardon?
assets. That's how we can go that fight.
Wow, that's crazy.
On RioLetsplays.com in the document section.
Do you want to see? I'll show you the outside view.
What they've done. One example is TD
yeah, it looks like a train with a missile.
Mid-Atlantic states
it's a nuclear missile launcher. It's called the Sickleback. And I'm taking it to Poland. That's why I said there must be a war in Poland.
Yeah. Gangsters. Who was also Mr.
All 75 tons of it.
We saw this at MF Global over that situation.
Well, that is just
another one was Mr. Norcross was also opposing ownership of the Philadelphia Inquirer building, which was initially set up and owned by none other than Moses Ansar, the right-hand man.
Here's a laugh for you. This monstrous load doesn't even have a beacon on the back of it.
and George.
Not straining my machine.
They had a turf battle, and they were planning to make it a casino. Norcross was at least. And
I've already crashed it on my first turning.
And then Louis Kretz, for some reason, to his demise, has a.
I'm assuming that's a military Jazzycat mod.
Accident that kills him and everybody on the plane at takeoff of the Hanscom Air Force Base
near
Boston. So I did some more research on
I've only got the railway and the latest patterns.
He basically rose to power. One of his investments was
I've got the railway modded as well, which is quite cool.
Throughout the city of Philadelphia and many other areas.
Just like putting those 55, 65 ton
known
loads.
people in the city, they said that basically they were strong-arming people. They falsified ownership of titles and property just to make a parking lot. So this is the guy. He also was an investor in charter schools, again cited by charter schools, which are big issues with organized crime in this area. And he was one of the trustees for Temple University.
Wow, I haven't been on
Temple University. You had Richard Fox, another board director over there, who was also a leader of the Republican Jewish Coalition.
It gives you a challenge as well with trying to gear it properly.
One of the founders of the Likud, also the Republican Jewish Coalition, set up by Max Fisher, a purple gangster, heating fire.
Like, you can't just smack it in 12th and leave it like you would with a normal load. You could drive along in 12th and have no problems. Whereas with this, you've got to really concentrate.
In getting JFK assassinated.
Really needs. I mean, I've got a mod which gives me like loads of beacons on the top of the truck, which you kind of need at the moment. Because this is just huge.
I also see that Janet Yellen is doing a little yelling now about the interest rates dropped.
I think at this point I would one have a police escort
concerned about the gap
because it's military,
in the world,
and two
have
a highways agency escort to the side of it.
Well, basically the gap between the rich and the poor. Where's the money going? Is it not recently that it was announced that there's over 100 people in India who are billionaires at this point, and we have 40 million people in America who are out of work, yet somehow we got to help the poor people of India immigrate over here at the rate of $250,000 a month.
Like in real life, chances are they keep like every car at least 500 meters away,
I think, right? I mean,
so that they didn't get rammed into when I went round the corner. And 9 times out of 10 it'd be in a convoy as well.
But it's not funny for those who are at work.
Because it's just stupidly wide. I can't see a thing out my mirrors. It's just insane.
Are now beginning to get those slips. How many did you say?
Even like my wide mirrors, can't see a flipping thing.
Their jobs, good paying jobs to India.
I would say it's more than 10. I would say it's probably closer. As far as India directly, probably 20 million people.
That is an enormous amount.
Right.
Right, go quick.
Just less than a decade.
Right.
And no one dares talk about it in the political field. Nobody. All right, we'll come right back. We got calls. We've got Art on the line. Art from Philly.
Come on,
joined
truck.
us in the
We've
time
got
we have
enough power.
left today.
You've got the horses under your bonnet. Come on.
3939443.
Good boy.
Rick Adams, Uncensored.
How important is the air you breathe?
Yeah, sure,
Our
John.
air purifiers produce activated oxygen.
Yes,
called
sure.
Arin. Activated oxygen is the natural enemy of
chat.
odors, pollutants, and many other harmful substances.
An in-game
Yet
metal
it's
would
completely
never in a
safe.
million years
Our
pull this.
powerful air purifiers unleash the power of a thunderstorm, destroying pollutants in the air we breathe. It destroys many viruses, bacteria, and fungi, kills molds, and oxidizes chemical fumes and toxic gases. It removes smoke, pollen, and pet odors. Made with quality stainless steel, our portable air purifiers come with a manufacturer's 4-year warranty. If you haven't experienced the Arin process of fresh, clean air, then call us today and receive 10% off your order.
Stupidly underpowered.
877-605-9200. Again, that's 877-605-9200. Time for you to breathe clearly again. 877-605-9200.
I'm Larry Pratt of Gun Owners of America, and I want to invite you to join the Second Amendment movement
There you
with
go,
Gun Owners of
There's
America, the only
ID.
no-compromise gun lobby in Washington. Take action by becoming a GOA member today by going to gunowners.org. Gun owners members receive the GOA newsletter, fact
friend of
sheets,
mine on stream is going to be joining the TeamSpeak in a minute.
But there's more to joining GOA than just a list of member benefits. The united voice of GOA members has been successful in defeating restrictive legislation designed to disarm our population. GOA has helped get strong constitutional members of Congress like Senator Ted Cruz elected. And with your help, GOA will continue to successfully defend the rights of gun owners in the courts. Participate in our efforts to restore and preserve the nation's right to keep and bear arms. All contributions to our lobbying efforts are used exclusively to support or oppose firearms legislation. Join online at gunowners.org.
Nutritious food is real body armor. It builds muscle, burns fat, improves digestion, and feeds the entire body the nutrients it needs.
Hey, John.
You know the U.S. government banned the hemp plant from growing in the United States and classified it as a Schedule 1 drug to hide it behind the marijuana plant. People have been confused about this plant for over 80 years, and many still don't know what it is.
15 minutes and then Mark comes on.
Marijuana, and marijuana is not hemp. They are different varieties of the same species. HempUSA.org wants the world to know these basic facts.
I've got one viewer, Matthew, one viewer.
Protein powder is the best kept health secret you need to know about. Remember, hemp protein powder contains 53% protein, is gluten-free, anti-inflammatory, non-GMO, and is loaded with nutrients. Call 888-910-4367. 888-910-4367.
Twitch's delay drives me nuts.
Yeah, it is very annoying there today.
Knob Creek Gun Range invites you to come out and support the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms, the country's biggest machine gun and military gun show. The three-day event is October 12th, 13th, and 14th at Knob Creek, Kentucky, where the public can participate in the high-power action. Thousands attend the semi-annual event.
This sickle back
This is
again.
a must-see for all gun enthusiasts
If we can
and
get it out.
collectors. There will be hundreds of vendors for every type of firearm and accessory available in the marketplace today.
Tell you what, Matthew, it's
Go
time.
to www.machinegunshoot.com for all the scheduled events and directions to Knob Creek, Kentucky. On-site camping facilities available. Or go to www.machinegunshoot.com for hotel and motel accommodations.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun.
$5 for 12 and under.
Some of these are going to make great videos tomorrow morning for my YouTube.
For your shooting enjoyment. Call 502-922-4457 for more information, or visit www.machinegunshoot.com.
You know what though, I bet he does have his train simulator launcher still open because it does say he's in train simulator.
Did you want to say anything else before we take some calls?
Yes, one last
Says
thing
I'm in train sim.
a recent article in Temple University.
Yeah, it does, like launcher never unhooked or something. What the?
Edition, where they talked about COINTELPRO, about Bonnie Raines and John Raines and their involvement with
Train sim isn't open.
media facility down in the FBI headquarters, and finding out about all the activities with what the FBI was doing, spying on American people.
At all.
It becomes apparent to me also that in
Yeah,
the
it still
Campus
says
I know it does.
of Temple University, sitting there in the U.S. Senate Committee of Intelligence outside
No
the
idea
door
why.
as a reporter, breaking stories.
Hi, Joe.
Signing up with,
Because that's the buggiest piece of software I've ever seen. That's why.
He says I'm in train sim 15, yeah, I'm playing Euro Truck. Oh well.
Mossad investigation. So it's becoming apparent to me from looking at that inside Temple University, that these basically watchdogs, that's a nice to watching out for the citizens, but they can't even watch their own 30 years there. Where they
You know,
got
with the normal load, you just start in second.
University at the same time. What a bunch of
This,
This
you have to start in first.
Frank is up first from North Carolina. Hi, Frank.
Otherwise, you can't get
I'm
moving.
sorry to hear about the ulcer on your
No,
foot.
it just doesn't go.
It's just one tone.
75 tons there, what for a 900 horsepower engine?
Don't let it get out of control there.
No, I saved my toe with oil of oregano a few years back, so you know, it's a miracle from God, and He does heal today. So, thank you for your concern, Frank. Go ahead, you got a question?
The 900 brake horsepower engine, and it still can't manage to pull this easily.
Was founded in 1913.
I made a mistake once of getting a custom truck with a small motor. I was running that mod like for a long nose. I don't remember if it was a Kenworth or a Peterbilt. And then I I had enabled the snow mod, plus I took like the train as a load, and it was like, you want to talk about, that was hell.
Yeah, I do play with Winter mod when I'm not streaming, but the game doesn't lag for me, but the stream starts lagging, so.
Curiosity right now is with this CTC and Ebola, how many of these players, these key players and gatekeepers and, the people in charge of the information that comes in and out, how many of those people at the CDC are Jewish? Because I'm very suspicious. I'll bet you they're all over the place.
Well, they are. If you really look into it, you'll find a disproportionate number are really of that particular lineage. And I do know that they do have a lot of, shall we say, a lot of intercourse with the Zionist script, so that doctors even here at Miriam Hospital, where I am in Rhode Island, we have Miriam Lifespan.
I had a problem with Steam once. It said I was in.
We have a lot of Israeli doctors here.
It actually said I was
in Boston, in Mass General Hospital and Bethel
War
Hospital.
Thunder.
And they have
and the only way I could get it to stop saying that was
with the people in the medical community in the state, the Zionist state, which steals body organs from killed Palestinians.
It just, I started going up a hill in like gear 4 with this load on the back, and it just stopped dead and started rolling down, and then refused to turn.
By Obama, whatever, as the Ebola czar. Now, I understand he was in charge of handing out the money and deciding who got how much money in the bailout. Is that true?
Yeah, he was. Well, he was involved with. I know he was with Biden, working with the vice president.
It's like at one of your first jobs, a quick job or something, coming out of the gravel quarry with like the gravel or sand or something, and trying to get out of the bottom of the pit with an underpowered truck.
I can't say for sure, but I believe he is.
I think Jack.
There is one occasion, Matthew. There is one occasion where the developer console is of great use.
Facial features yet, but he does appear to be in that mode.
And so does the director, I think, the director of the
Yep.
CDC.
Instead of having to spawn back, I just spawn myself a bit further up.
Thank you for the call. Okay, good questions. Art, do you have any comments?
Yes, I saw Neo say that basically they did set up the IRS and Benaya at the same time in 1913 in dedication of the National Holocaust Center in Philadelphia. So that's
I could have used that console.
And also when that was.
I could have used console the other day to finish discovering 100% of the map, because that was a real pain in the butt.
Project for New American Century. So he's right on both issues.
I'd already discovered 100% of the map and just automatically got the achievement.
At many different levels. He's very good to be aware of that. He's
I've spent too long on your
trying to just start dealing with it.
I mean, it all does go back to that one city, folks. I keep telling you that.
It's more my brother just kind of driving. Oh, my cheat, I'm a phoenix. It's more my brother just kind of driving round on it, just randomly, and that's how I end up with loads of the map discovered. I just stick him in a rigid truck and tell him to drive around.
I want to pass on something real quick carefully to you about the hate crimes bill, which was snuck on a year and a half ago with the military budget bill. There's two things about it that people don't know, and that is it does not protect whites or Christians.
Yeah, except I had to hit like every little employment agency and every tiny truck dealer and everything. That's where a lot of the missing ones were. So I was quick traveling between all my garages since I have them all.
Because they're not going to make it.
See, I don't need all the garages. Do you know why?
They're hiding their names by changing their names.
Because I can just quick travel using the developer console.
Biden, Pelosi, Reid, John Kerry, John McCain, Graham, Clintons, Bushes, they're all Jewish.
Again, any comments?
Yeah, but that's almost cheating.
What did he say?
Why is he cheating?
Because pigs can't fly and trucks can't fly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You sir need to watch my stream. Because I've got a nice little thing on the side that says trucks can fly.
Why would they pick a disease? It's hard to get. easy treated and tell you how to avoid getting it.
Nah, but he's got one here.
Yeah, he's not cheating. He's using developer tools wisely.
Why would you do that?
Well, I've had my truck over 150 kilometers an hour, but that's a different kind of flying.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? What's the point of that?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I got no trailer. My rigid truck I got up to like 250 kilometers an hour, and that was with a 2,000 brake horsepower engine.
And all kinds of medical care, and also consolidate us for Obamacare.
Yeah, there's one of the mods on my stream now telling me that I cheat.
You that? Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any proof that you did this, or you just think you're blowing out your butt?
Well, as an example, just look at the
A truck won't fly at 12. It simply hasn't got the power to go into 12.
The taxes it's imposing upon us.
So you're saying the government came up
Even if you rev it to 2,000 RPM, halfway into 12?
Just,
I think Ebola was there,
no,
but I think they're
will not
basically
rev.
using this as a crisis to make themselves filthy rich.
So a disease that's easily treated by a regular standard medical procedure is very hard to get. Has 2 people infected in the U.S.
I don't think you get too much speed though out of 12 here compared to with that.
And they're making people rich.
Yeah, we'll only just find 11th if you're lucky.
Industry rich, yeah.
So you how to avoid it. Okay, so saying here's how you avoid it, here's how you don't get it. So we're like, okay, how does that work exactly?
Yeah, when I first started playing this game, I never used 12 because I was at the speed limiter on, so I didn't need to use 12.
Oh, sure they are. Okay.
Who has the speed limiter on, quite honestly though?
Well, no, it was before you had the option to
look at Wall Street,
turn it
you'll see the
off.
proof real soon.
What? I could never have played this game with a speed limiter. That's why I hate multiplayer so much.
Wow, that's how it was. You turn the speed limiter off unless you got a mod, which didn't really work that well.
Realistic physics used to have a speed limiter built in.
Didn't have an option to turn it off.
No, it used to have it built in. You used to be able to get one that turned it on or off.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not over yet, by the way. This is, listen, William, this is just the beginning stages. This is a static, this is a constant dynamic here. We're seeing the information, the disinformation come out weekly and daily. And it ain't over yet. You're basically making a conclusion based on what's being said.
Yeah, realistic physics isn't compatible with Eurotruck anymore. Or, as far as I know, it wasn't. Because the physics have been improved, haven't they?
No, any more than anyone else.
Well, no, there's the one
who originated this scheme.
version.
And there's no evidence. There's no evidence for
Oh,
anybody
to be honest, I don't like it that much.
And believe every word of it. And that's the whole point. Go to the website, by the way, nodisinfo.com, and also ART's website, noplaceforcorruption.com. Follow the issues. Think about it. Just use your brains and not jump to any false conclusions. But just watch. Just watch the city of Jerusalem. Art, thank you again for your insight and for your, shall we say, your perception. Okay? All right. Appreciate it, Rick. Yes, we'll talk again, God willing, next week, folks. It's been a fascinating show.
We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, Matthew.
Next Saturday, same time. Rick Adams, goodbye.
With financial uncertainty circling the globe due to job losses, decline in the housing market.
Okay, the show's starting now. If you want to tune in, LRN.FM.
Many are once more turning to precious metals as the only hedge against
after the news.
With the U.S. House conducting hearings on proposals to confiscate workers' personal retirement accounts,
What's the website called again?
Oh, sorry, I could have just spoke LRN, like Lima Romeo Nancy.fm.
Okay.
Can I just have a quick test from you, Matthew?
On the stream.
Thank you, sorted. Right, back in 10.
Okay.
Is comprised of only 130 people, but their cause has received international attention after their land was included in a new map for a game reserve. The Tanzania National Parks Authority is attempting to drive the community out of the reserve, which now includes their land. Support for Liberty Beat comes from Marjorie Wildcraft's Grow Your Own Groceries, homegrown food on every table. That's growyourowngroceries.org. Support also comes from Be the Media, a workshop, mini-conference, and party exploring alternative media and celebrating the launch of the Liberty Beat GCN partnership. It happens Saturday, October 25th, and will be live streamed at thelibertybeat.com. Be the media and change the world. This is the Liberty Beat for Friday, October 16th, 2014. Check out the website at thelibertybeat.com. And make sure you like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/thelibertybeat. 1 year in the House of Corrections suspended on good behavior for 1 year and 100 hours of community service. That's the sentence handed down Thursday to the host of the nationally syndicated Free Talk Live radio program. Ian Freeman's sentence was decided by Keene, New Hampshire Superior Court Judge Edward Burke, arising from the charges of unsworn falsification and prohibition. The charges stem from an arrest in April of this year and were the proper paperwork in order to use the name Ian Freeman for his New Hampshire driver's license. Freeman's given birth name is Bernard. Freeman's show co-host of 12 years, Mark Edge, provided character testimony, telling the court that Freeman would not learn from being locked in a cage and has, through Edge's influence, recently toned down his controversial civil disobedience activism. Freeman told the Liberty Beat he's thankful that he's not going to jail.
How long is
that
this
a suspended 1 year jail sentence is a hefty price to pay for getting a name change. The state prosecutor...
I'm not sure how long they stay on live anymore. I think the show runs for 3 hours. This isn't the show, this is just like ads and news between shows.
Mail letters to the judge that will sentence him on November 24th. The organization is asking for sympathetic letters detailing Barrett's contributions to be mailed to Judge Lindsay. Barrett Brown has been behind bars for over 2 years.
I think you'll like them, though. If you don't, you don't. But
he was originally accused of sharing a hyperlink to stolen data, hiding laptops, and threatening a federal agent. Support for Liberty Beat comes from Midas Resources Incorporated, helping clients convert their paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver. Get their 10 Reasons book free by calling 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237. Support also comes from Sovereign Living, a podcast, blog, and reality show about what it takes to live a voluntary and natural life. Check out the blog at sovereignliving.com and watch episode 1 of the soon-to-be-released reality show at sovereignliving.tv. This is the Liberty Beat for Friday, October 17th, 2014. I'm Brian Hagan reporting, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. In local news, a succession of terrible events failed to befall a 33-year-old riding a longboard to his digital media job Monday. Shocked bystanders helplessly watched as media developer Jake Reston skated safely through Manhattan traffic without flipping over on his obnoxiously oversized skateboard and smashing his stupid face into the pavement, with many saying they were horrified at the sight of the floppy-haired little shit walking into his office unscathed.
It was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. He wasn't even hit by a car. I was just praying that someone would step in and throw him off the stupid little skateboard and punch him right in the mouth.
In other news, a study finds owning a cool leather jacket is more rewarding than raising a child. A community garden sprouts the first condom wrapper of spring, and a little turtle gorges on an entire raspberry.
Tonight in the cabin, schoolmarm's telling about how they talk about corpulation down the school. Only a fool needs telling how to screw. Just let the pecker guide you. But come on, listen anyhow.
This is the Onion News Network.
Is actually not okay. Not useful. One.
right, welcome to the No State Project. We're live.
Okay, this is Mark.
Downtown in Phoenix, Arizona. It is October 18th, 2014. I'm glad to be with you here live. We will be taking your calls, of course. And what happened last week should not happen again. It turns out on the computer that I was using to bring the callers on lost a sound card. So that's why, we couldn't. And then, my mic went dead for whatever reason. But I got the other computer, thanks to JT, who I think we're going to be missing again today. So hopefully he'll be with us again real soon. But if you want to join me on the big show today, you may do so at 218-632-9399, 218-632-9399. We got a lot of stuff to get to because, of course, we missed so much last week. So hopefully we have Mike call. And I did get that video loaded this week for those who heard the live broadcast last week. When we're listening to the podcast, I did get the documentary evidence of Mike's ticket getting thrown out, so big congratulations. So hopefully he will join us today. I also did get the video and article about common judicial lies. Yes, judges lie all the time. If their lips are moving, they're probably deceiving. And the problem with that, I don't know. I got somebody who hits my YouTube channel, and I've had this issue, but I don't know if for some reason I was able to get around it. But apparently the attacks won't, the complaints won't stop. So now till the end of the year, I can't post a YouTube video that is longer than 15 minutes. Someone keeps saying that the videos that I'm posting are spam or misleading, even though the evidence is usually in the video. But I'll have to get a mirror up, and so that's why it took longer to get that video and article posted, because I would have had it posted on Saturday night, and it loaded the whole thing. It was HD video, so it took some time to render and then get posted. Uploaded to YouTube, and then I tried to figure out how I could get around that restriction like the other videos, because the one on debunking Dan Evans was 30 minutes long, and I was able to post that. But again, the complaints continue, and so for the next few months, I have to cut the videos up. Sucks, but what I probably will do, if I'm able to, I will load the full video to Vimeo, and then post that, and just do the parts on YouTube. But let's get to your calls. It's Eric 218-632-9399. You can also join me on Skype at FrankRizzle3, and then I can put you in, and you can join the chat there. It's also a great resource for getting with the guys if you are prepping for court, which is very, very important. It's not a matter of just reading the script and going in there and saying it. No, you've got to be very good, or you have to improve and be very good at public speaking to be able to withstand the attacks, the fit throwing that you can expect from a closed-minded Republican or Democrat, somebody who relies on the system. And we'll get into that later, but I want to bring up who's been on the show before. Dean in South Dakota. Welcome back to the No State Project.
AI right there.
Hello.
Hello, Dean. What do you have for us today?
Yeah. Hey, Mark. It's been a while since I've checked in with you, but I've been keeping up with you quite a bit. Hey, one of the things that I was wanting to ask you were, when you battle with these criminals, I call them criminals, and you call them out, like the IRS. Like on your Hall of Fame. What ends up happening after? The whole story is not there. It's just soundbite. But to these people that you're helping, what ends up happening to them?
Most of them die. Did that joke not land at all? I mean, or did we lose the caller?
I'm here.
I was kidding. Most of them are left alone. Most of them, they typically don't have any more problems. If the thing, however it resolves, usually no problem. That's a very small percentage of people that, say for traffic, wind up getting another ticket.
I might have accidentally tapped it.
But most of the time, yeah, they just move on.
I plugged in earbuds so that I didn't have the echo, but I still have the delay thing.
Even traffic.
Yeah.
Those are in the minority. And then you have the worst of the worst, is like what happened in Alaska or in Idaho with Mike, where they get convicted in due time. I know that non-compliance Chip, who was on a few weeks ago, he did 20 months and was completely vindicated. I mean, the prosecution and the police officers admitted to fabricating evidence, and he was still convicted. So that tells you your chances with the jury. Well, it's never been very good. 1 in 12 is about the best you can expect. So.
What did he do to? I mean, what was his crime to do 20 months?
Well, it would have been years. He did 20 months, and that's why he was released, because he was reversed. They threw out the conviction. He would have done years. It was drug possession.
Okay, sure. So, like, in these IRS cases, or Internal Revenue System, how many of these do you actually go to court, like the full, like where you start it and it goes all the way through, like right up to district court, or I'm not even sure how far you can carry it?
Oof. That is a very, very small percentage. I would say maybe it's all the people that I've worked with taxes in the last 10 years. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of people, and maybe 5, 6 have gone to court.
I guess my next question was, how corrupt does the higher courts get? Do they get less corrupt, or do they get more?
It depends on the issues raised and who is attacking you. If it's the IRS, even the most logical, reasonable judge typically will just rubber stamp. So I think the bad rulings you'll see depends on who the target, who's targeting you, which is, in my experience, I mean, because look, you have to look at the prejudices that the judges are bringing in with them. So we just found out yesterday someone in the tax court, when you go back into his history, he's retired now because he's a pretty old guy, and he's got to be 80 years old, and so they bring him out of retirement for certain cases, I guess, on a limited basis. And so we looked him up, and it turns out that for almost the first 10 years of his professional career, he was an IRS agent. And then he got his law degree and started working in the criminal investigation division, and he was there for several decades, and then he was appointed to the tax court. So, when that's your background, you're going to bring that baggage with you. No reasonable person is going to say to you that someone can work with the IRS for 3 decades and not be so, very biased in favor of the taxing system. And it's going to, and I saw it in person in Alaska, where they have nothing but contempt for people like us who don't pay and who question. They have that, so they're going to bring that to the job, and I think you can look at that. Well, that's going to come into play with these judges. So if it's a murder trial, I think they tend to be a lot less biased, especially with issues of evidence.
Right. Well, that's like hindsight, because I don't know of very many people that go in do an investigation on the judge that they're going to step in front of and oversee a case. Unless maybe you do, and you can object to bias, or he's spent his time with the IRS. Do you call for a different judge at that time, or?
Sometimes, in this situation, I believe in give the judge a fair chance to do the right thing. And the reason why we looked it up after, because I don't usually look it up before. I have an assumption, and I'll go with that and then I'll do the research and find out that, because the assumption is they're usually prosecutors first. They have a very pro-state prosecution type bias that they bring to the judge, to the bench of them. But we'll continue in the next segment. My name is Mark Stevens. You're listening to No State Project here on the LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. We'll be back.
Brian and
should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending...
Tracy's been offline for quite a bit now. I don't know if this PC is a problem or...
Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power. But there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org.
The chocolates came out, so I had to eat them.
So you can take care of your business.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too.
And Brian, if you mean Mayhem, he's been streaming a little bit. He's been around. I haven't talked with him, though.
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare.
How long has it been since Darren was last
but that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and Transportation.
It's very hard to get anything done these days.
It's all right with this truck.
But free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service at the
if you got the choice of one truck to drive, like ever, what would you drive?
Unregulated, you know.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network,
I'd probably choose the Scania.
You may want to help expose others
if
to our
Matthew
great
announces
programs.
Kenworth and
To
then
assist
comes
you
to
in doing
Sunny Hole
so,
and
you'll find
shoots.
resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker,
I'd
quarter-page
say a
flyers you
Renault.
can print out and distribute, banners for your website,
The
as well as
reason I'd
files
say a
that allow you to
Renault
make
is
your
I'm
own
nearly
custom
6'4".
banners and graphics. Visit
And a lot of trucks aren't very good if you
promote.lrn.fm and
tall.
help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Do you drink coffee? Was the last cup of coffee you had really good? Free Talk Live has teamed up with BuzzBox to bring you the best of the best coffee.
I wish there was a GPS in the Majestic / Mercedes, but you know, I drove the Mercedes the other day and I was using the outside mirrors and driving on the front bumper and just listening to the motor and stuff, and it's really not a bad truck.
Best of the best coffee. Help others one
Yeah,
cup
I
at a
like
time.
Majestic.
Coffee.freetalklive.com.
Or the Mercedes. Hey, they've got a
Instead of
license
just
now, haven't they?
listening, you can also watch. See the Liberty Radio Network's key New Hampshire-based live shows via our studio cam
They
at
have a license.
cam.lrn.fm.
The new
Plus, you'll still be
Mercedes
able to listen to the
is
Liberty
being put
Radio
in the
Network via the cam feed in high quality
As a
24/7,
Mercedes.
even when there's no live show being produced in our Keene
Yeah.
studio.
Oh, no,
But wait,
not in
there's more.
114.
Our chat room is
The
built into the
DAF
cam
in
page, so you can
114.
interact with other listeners online. Listen,
Both of them at the same time, DAF and Mercedes.
I
cam.lrn.fm.
don't think they
That's
will, judging by some of the previews.
cam.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what.
You know what would be nice, but I know they won't do it, is if they released like ATS and then gave us the Going North DLC free. At least, you know, that'd be nice.
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so
I
only
think
because
it
provides them
annoys
cushy
me,
jobs,
like when
good benefits,
we
and a
charge so
chance
much
to
for
push
DLCs.
people around.
Because really, it should just be added onto the game. I understand like a couple of map DLC, but some of them should just be added.
Guns and weed.
Because I mean, I put some money away because going north can be any more expensive. It might be a couple of quid more expensive than going east, so I'm probably going to put away about 10 for when it comes out.
Gunsandweed.com makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Well, it's not as bad as Railworks, right?
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm.
I mean, I liked Sniper Elite V2, but Sniper Elite V3 and then all the Day 1 DLC, it's like, oh crap, what do they think they are, EA and Activision?
Trust me, it's not like Railworks yet. Look at the price of Euro Truck with all the DLC has gone up. My Euro Truck copy is probably worth about 45 quid.
Welcome back to the No State Project here on the
I've
Liberty
got all
Radio
but
Network,
2 DLCs.
LRN.FM, and you may join us
And that's because it came out after I got all the rest.
218-632-9399. And got to
Yeah,
mention
train sim,
Libertopia,
full price,
a few weeks away.
like
Libertopia
£2,000
2014 in San Diego.
Yeah, I really want that the Riviera
Resort
Airline. because I remember, like, the month before my granddad passed away, we went and train spotted down there. So it'd just be really nice to just drive down there
to Sunday night,
in a train.
16th, and I will be speaking.
Yeah, that's why
my intention anyway.
Talking about,
even though I'm not happy with the company, I don't care, you know, the old one or Dovetail, I still don't like them, but I still want to get to New York to New Haven because I'm up in Connecticut. Even though I'm in central Connecticut, that rail line is still along the coast.
Red and black for anarchy, straight anarchy instead of just
Are you from the UK or America?
It was associated
yeah, America.
Communism
so are you in? Are you over in America now?
Yes, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Anyway, sign up for Libertopia 2014 at
Libertopia.org. Hang on, I'm trying to work out. You're Angels, aren't you?
Pretty good news jam. All right.
With this echo and delay stuff, it's driving me nuts. What was the question?
Judges are looking into the
background. Do you be Angels?
Prior to going in, and Joey.
Time-wise, it's 4:20 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's 9:20 over here.
Judge, seeing what his temper is like, and seeing how he deals with people. And so, what I was mentioning before, we did notice that we have used it, and to change the judge, and show the bias and prejudice. But it was no surprise yesterday. We usually, Dean, give the judge an opportunity to do the right thing.
For like 30 seconds, I totally forgot why I had on the back.
Even look to withdraw and change this particular judge in the tax court was because.
Have you seen mine?
They flip things around on you when you go to the tax court. They make you the plaintiff and put the burden on you because the
I've got
law
is that
once the IRS does an assessment, it's presumed.
No, you should do is you should put your Twitch link on your Steam profile page or something. I don't have your page.
Right, you just type in Twitch. I talk gadget the same as on everything else. I'll be there.
He actually admitted he has no evidence against the plaintiff. Zero.
The stream isn't that good quality because I haven't got a microphone properly yet, like with proper isolation, but I mean it's funny to watch me drive for this.
And Adamson versus Commissioner is just one of them. And the Ninth Circuit.
Finally, Matthew, I've got some power out of my truck.
The presumption of correctness does not arise unless it's based on facts. It's based on evidence, and here he freely admitted there was no evidence. Well, this judge just he refused to strip them of the presumption of correctness and shift the burden to them. So it was no surprise when we looked up and found out that he had been basically working for the IRS.
He's going at speed now and refuses to stop.
Right.
I've had to use the retarder to stop it.
I got a ticket in Oklahoma, a little town called Woodward, Oklahoma, for no headlight. And I was.
And the AI thought it'd be clever to crash into me, even though it was mine right away.
Like on your website, can you download or just download your motions to dismiss?
Well, those are under the store, and so after someone purchases that, they're only $25. They're already crossed over. Then I just email them over.
Oh, okay. I see. So you just take the credit card
number. This isn't an easy cargo to pull by any stretch of the imagination.
And then I email it over with it's.
I've just got a big queue of cars behind me.
And at least for the ones that I have been selling, I haven't. It's been at least a year since somebody asked for one that was not crossed over yet. So most of them are crossed over, and then I have the instructions on how to file it.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have to be there in person
to file it?
Well, when the court trial comes back.
Yeah, there'll be a death warrant issued for you.
Okay. So if the motion to dismiss, if they don't dismiss it before court hearing, you got to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Did you play the original Euro Truck Simulator?
It's always a bad idea to
very little
threat and have them issue a death warrant.
Yeah, I had
not fun.
UK truck,
let's get this thing resolved.
German
I'm here
truck,
in good faith, even though it's under threat, duration, coercion. I still want to resolve this. Where is the evidence the prosecution's supposed to provide?
And then I just thought there was a Euro truck too.
The thing, like I'm a CDL holder, so I drive for a living. So it's almost impossible for me to be at a point at 30 days from now, because I could be in Wyoming. Who knows? So. That's what makes it so difficult.
I may have a problem.
the people that drive, CDL holders that drive for a living.
I'm running on fuel. I'm running on fumes.
Physically be there.
Are you Donald the Truth Seeker?
And that's why,
Yep.
you know, the
That's
thing is
right.
living in the age that
yeah,
we do.
I'm kind of
you know, it's not
going anywhere
anymore. And they have the capability, even some of these little towns, to do telephonic hearings.
I've totally ran out of fuel.
Because they're not able to just steamroll you and
F7.
you right then and there, pay us or go to jail. It's more... You know, I'm going to talk about this later. You know, the only real tool that they have is violence, and it doesn't work when you're 800 miles away. Well, unless you work at the Pentagon or the CIA, and it doesn't, you know, mileage really isn't an issue when you're working with the satellite system and drones. But for this,
there is no fuel
for a
station.
traffic court, they're not going to be able to kill you or threaten you.
It doesn't matter. When they tell you to a repair place, they give you enough fuel to usually get to the nearest station.
We've had it before in traffic. It's not unprecedented.
So now,
they just don't like to do it.
Now I've got the pleasure of driving to a fuel station.
Yeah, I mean, I had it like the
or
fourth
I could just
copy.
teleport.
It's either the third or fourth copy of the ticket. I couldn't even make
I like
the ticket
that
out.
idea. Have you seen what I've got on the back
I called down to the city clerk's office to get
something big and black.
First copy.
Do you want me to show you it?
You know, so I could decipher the ticket, and she wouldn't even give that to me. You know, she would, but I had to fill out a two-page form.
Wow.
Yeah, stating that I am who I say I am. Even though I could make out the ticket number, it was very clear, the ticket number. Yeah, it's just that they just make it really difficult for people that's not in that, you know, town. You know, you just can't drop by the courthouse and show your license. And
Matthew, I'm still watching you too. I just got 2 different windows open.
I mean, they have it.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay, yeah. And the thing is that the only possible
2 Twitch streams, 2 talk radio shows, too much.
Name where, you know, if you can't make that out, because it's a code violation. It's a traffic code violation, and really that's all you need. They're not alleging that you violate anyone's legal rights. They're not alleging that the Constitution laws apply to you. They're just saying you violated the law, which is not evidence of anything. It's just an allegation, argument. And so you don't necessarily always need the most legible copy of the ticket in order to be able to file the motion. It's a code violation. And to me, I think it's the best.
So what do you think of Mark?
Something like drug possession, things like that, to always refer to it as a code violation so that there's less prejudice to you, to a potential jury. It's a code violation.
Right.
Disobedience.
I think I will listen to the rest of your broadcast here.
I'll try and you guys smart.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate the call, and let me know if there's more we can do. And if you get it, Skype, you should Skype me at FrankRizzle3 and get into the chat so that you can practice on role playing. We'll be back in just a few moments here on the No State Project at 218-632-9399. Don't go away. We got more with your calls and a call of shame.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself.
For some reason, with this trailer attached, it doesn't pick up your truck when you go into a rest bay.
Like me,
You've got to
who got
unhook it.
And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Right, so let's just pull over here and get a photo.
Which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at FFF.
I think you ran out of fuel because your steering wheel's on the wrong side.
To our monthly journal of libertarian essays.
What's on the wrong side?
Economic Liberty in the Constitution.
Your steering wheel.
Which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's
Why is it on the wrong side?
I've been told no in many different ways.
What virtual trucking company do me and Matthew worked on?
I could drive the roads in England. I could drive that way, but not with a tractor with the steering wheel on the right. It just drives me nuts.
We work the UK change.
Even with racing games?
UK.
Yeah, but even with racing games, if the car's got like the steering wheel on the right, I don't know, I just feel so out of place.
See, I don't. It's the other way around for me, whereas Matthew's like you. He cannot drive the steering wheel on the right.
Well, Matthew does.
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
Yeah. If I really had to, I could possibly try and
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
The 3 most important things.
I've taken quick jobs from England, but very rarely. Only if it's like leaving from like Grimsby and going to like Amsterdam or something.
Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at Amazon.
But if it's going all the way across Europe into Poland, it's like, forget it.
Things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
Keenvention is coming up October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at keenvention.info. Keenvention is your chance to meet dozens of key liberty activists from across the Shire. You can explore the beautiful little city of Keene, discuss various forms of activism with seasoned veterans, attend social events like the costume
anybody that turns around and says
received rave reviews last year. If you missed it, visit keenvention.info for full video coverage of every speaker and panel. This year, James Robin
really nice.
Cleveland, Rich Paul, and Free State Project President
Death isn't bad.
And we'll have all kinds of panels, including the new Cop Block panel and the new Movers panel, hosted by the outlaw Josie Wales. Join old and new friends and neighbors in Keene for Keenvention this October 31st through November 2nd. Only 100 tickets are available in advance,
which is quite nice.
Yours in now
the
for
Daft
just
Tandem's
$60
really nice to drive as a tandem.
Reserve
I
your
wouldn't
tickets
like
now
to drive
at
a Daft as
Visit keenvention.info for more, or look for our page and event on Facebook. That's keenvention.info.
Are you watching my stream?
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch both and listen to Mark.
Just watching the next 30 seconds because the AI is just really stupid. Right, I'm coming onto a roundabout and he just stopped dead, which means I have to go through all my gears again. Have you ever seen Top Gear driving the trucks?
I went to tractor trailer training school and graduated second in my class, so I'm kind of familiar with them, yeah. My dogs are barking, I gotta see what they're barking about.
Well, Top Gear driving the truck. Do you remember the episode, Matthew, where they drove the Scanias?
Dictated by the place where you were born.
Yeah. And Ammon goes, don't stop, because I have to go back to gear 1 and go through another 12 gears, I'm going to kill myself. You seen that bit?
And you'd be surprised.
Didn't have to say it was like 18 or 21 gears.
Yeah, he had like, Hammond had a racing truck, so he had a 21 gear.
So many people.
Gearbox.
James had an Indian truck, and Jeremy bought a Renault Magnum and left 10 centimetres gap on the windscreen so we could look out with it.
James got customized because around so many Americans. It just seems to be such a strong American mindset. This whole thing.
My country, right or wrong? Was because he did bad stuff.
All right.
Yeah, why yeah, but then James severed his airlines, didn't
he?
Welcome to the No State Project. You're live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Crashed into a brick wall.
David, calling from Southern California.
Oh yeah, they crashed into brick walls. No, James went past Jeremy, didn't he, and took Jeremy's truck, front of his truck out, and took his airlines with him.
I got
but when they did the crash test, Jeremy got the worst and James got, well, probably the easiest.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah. What did James get? Was it James get the water?
Yeah, James got water.
All live together.
Hammond got the plasticky office building. Jeremy got
do you remember the teenage challenge where they had to crash and not avoid things? And James and Jeremy, every time, avoid the car, get everything else. Hammond, right, pair of them have avoided the car, so I'm going to go straight into it. And then he just smashes his car, just crumples.
file the paperwork and everything. So
yeah.
I really don't know what.
I think it's kind of funny how the teenage challenge there was texting rather than the
and the case number starts with that
R5K, the Golf one,
which
where Jeremy had a Golf.
So they couldn't answer.
Hammond rolled his Nova.
Yeah.
That. Do you remember?
So the county did it on behalf of.
So whose approach do you think he'll do? Well,
yeah,
if he's got any sense, he'll do mine, James Mays. But he hasn't got any sense because he's Hammond. So we'll do yours.
I mean, it's a little different than.
We went in together.
Do you remember that?
For food stamps.
Okay. But she went and made a separate
request
for.
And when they did the, not the Alpine, the Helpline.
The county did this on their own
in the 1980s hatchbacks. And Hammond binned it within like the first 20 seconds of coming back down.
Is this Riverside?
Yeah. And I went ahead and I called him up and I asked him if I called up the child support department agency and I asked him. I said, "What's this for?" And she's all like, "Well, it's established paternity." Now I was in the hospital when he was born. They gave us paperwork to fill out. I read the fine print, and it said what you have to fill out and what you don't have to fill out. So I filled out what I thought was necessary because my name and stuff was not mandatory to be filled out, but I wanted it on the birth certificate because I'm the father.
Somebody in a box of Vectro just tried to cut me up.
I go ahead and I fill it out. But
trust me, in real life, you won't want to cut one of these up.
That's what I think.
It's got a nuclear missile on the back.
So when the mother gives the paperwork away, because they never gave the paperwork to her when I was there, they never asked for the paperwork or talked to me about the paperwork. They only dealt with her. So basically, I went ahead and we filled out the paperwork, and she's all like, "Oh, well, this isn't completely filled out." Blah blah blah. And I was like, well, if you read the fine print, it says you don't have to. So please don't get personal with my paperwork and just here, put that into the computer. And it turns out that she just blocked out all the father's information. It's a black pen. And never put it in. So my name's not on the birth certificate. So they went ahead and they tell me that this is to...
I may have a problem fuel-wise, because I'm getting to a similar place again at still and come across a fuel station.
Well, yeah, I mean, and obviously some jackass is pushing for child support from you, obviously.
Yeah, there's not one for about another 400, 500 kilometers.
You know, then generates a... I mean, do you know that there's a direct connection from applying for the food
300
stamps?
kilometers left in the tank.
Yeah, we talked...
So it'll be like a quick dive into Rotterdam to jump on some fuel. Which I don't really want to be doing, but never mind.
For money.
But you got no choice, have you?
2010.
Not really.
I have had no job, no income. I do my best not to do with money.
To be honest, I might just take cut through Rotterdam and save time.
Anything like that.
Because there's less traffic.
I'd rather live outside, to be honest with you. But now that I have a child, I gotta staying with family and stuff like that. Anyway, so through my travels and talking to people,
don't look outside your truck while driving. Also doesn't help.
That as soon as you put your kid's name on any financial aid paperwork, they go after somebody for child support.
Jeez. Another reason not to live in Southern California. I mean, to me, it's a...
Well, it's kind of a reason not to have children. I mean, it's the argument that, you know... By the way, everything you say about court is like... I mean, it's obvious. I don't know why... I'm shocked that anybody would think otherwise. So, yeah, they don't have... I'm sure they don't have jurisdiction. I don't even have to... But
well,
you can't find
I've got news for you. I'm running out of fuel.
David, you've got a particular problem here.
Oh, that's what it says.
Well, I mean, I don't have any money. They want child support.
What's new?
I really don't like looking for
Hey,
jobs.
I've turned the force feedback up. It's so much more realistic. Like, you go over a bump in the road, you feel it in the wheel. It's amazing.
I don't know what to do about it. Well, jurisdiction's not really an issue that you have any standing to raise.
Logitech and their force feedback really is top notch.
I'm working in ticket court or whatever, but I don't drive, so.
I don't know what it's like in the G27, but if this is their baseline entry-level model, I dread to think how realistic the G27 is.
Okay, what about it?
G27 literally rips out your hands.
Yeah, well, this pretty much rips out your hands. Like when you whack it up, max.
Benefits, we don't have any standing to then attack jurisdiction.
Some people say that that's supposed to be
I hear it's the bare minimum. It's like it's good, it's usable and all that, but it's not the best.
No, but for under £6, you're not going to get the best.
Issue like that, it has to be if it's going to be jurisdiction, it has to be where they have a legitimate claim.
And I wouldn't call it cheap and nasty. I'd call it simple and affordable.
And I heard that was.
Yeah, that's its basic. That it is affordable.
Which is what it comes with all the buttons. I mean, I quite like it. I mean, it's best of both worlds for me, because I'm getting a heat shifter for Christmas, hopefully, or I'm going to buy my own. So I've got a heat shifter, which is what I want. I've got all the buttons on the wheel, which is what I want. I've got a sequential shifter, which is what I want. And I've got force feedback, which is what I want. And it's Logitech, which is what I want.
There's better companies, but they're like, top end racing sim line, like Fanatic and whatever. There's a couple of the better ones. I don't know if you didn't know what I was asking Matthew earlier saying, but like Assetto Corsa, they basically released kind of like the release candidate now, and the price is going to go up on that. So if you like car racing, now's the time to buy that. And
something fishy's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Dragon Force GT a week ago, and I'm loving it.
So I can't really offer too much to help.
I mean, I've used the G27,
hold tight 1 second.
and yeah, it's nice, but it doesn't have everything I'd like, which is why I don't want one really, kind of. I've got the best of all worlds in this little setup I've got now.
We talk a lot about alternative currencies. Did you know that now you can buy gold, silver, and other precious metals with bitcoins? LRN.FM
I also
has
don't like the big
partnered with
massive
Amaji
steel
Metals to bring you great prices on
the back
beautiful
for the shifters.
.999
It's alright
fine
if you play
silver,
racing
as well
games,
as
but if you don't
gold,
play
platinum,
racing games, it's
and
pretty
other
pointless.
metals. Check out their selection and pay with bitcoins or Federal Reserve notes at metal.lrn.fm. That's
probably even be able to use the steering wheel with a flight simulator if you didn't have, like I have a crappy joystick, an AV8R SciTech, an old one. The thing is like not much heavier than a mouse. It's a piece of junk. I hate it. And I'd rather just use the keyboard and mouse if I could, but I'm having issues getting X-Plane set up. I got X-Plane 9 years ago, and I was able to play that with no joystick, if I remember right, or with that joystick and keyboard, but it's been so long.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put an order in off Amazon for a Thrustmaster joystick.
And you should interview your interviewer. Seem genuinely curious about what will help get results.
It's not the best,
with money
but
and
it's one Thrustmaster, which means it's quality. Two, it's Hotus, which is what I want. Three, it's splits.
Have never been more
so, you know, it does everything I want.
Through the clutter. For more tips,
my SciTech's got that split throttle, but the thing is, if you go to full range on the left and the right, it's like one doesn't even go full range anymore. Like I say, it's just junk. I don't like SciTech as a company anymore.
The Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer. You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm.
It's not
or
cheap.
follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm.
Now, if I was to, I mean, I've got DCS like Black Shark and the DCS A10C and all that stuff, and DCS World and a lot of their other modules. Yeah, if money was no object, I'd get that beautiful, you know, that real replica of the one for the A10. But did you ever look at the cockpits out there? There's one called Obudo. Yeah, beautiful cockpits they make. You can use it for car racing, flying, or anything.
It's like how someone said to me
about the Free State Project. That's
the other day
377-2515.
at our school. I mean,
visit
they are literally all PC, right? I mean, I've got my Xbox and different other things. They're all PC, and they were spouting on. I've got a gaming chair in my bedroom. I've got a G27. I've got a Thrustmaster Shifter. I've got a top-of-the-line gaming PC. Yep, you might have all of
programs on the air in your area.
But you sit there on your own playing it.
Running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local
I don't know how people actually physically sit there.
That's where LRN.FM comes in.
On their own.
At broadcast.lrn.fm.
And
broadcast.lrn.fm.
play a PC game, because the whole part of playing PC games for me is coming on TeamSpeak with people like Matthew, who like it as much as I do.
If you don't, I don't really care. I don't make it for the masses.
I mean, there was this lad at our school. He's a general Indian, basically, and he was just doing his classic showing off of I got this, that, the other. But it's like, yeah, but actually, by showing off you've got this, that, the other, it just makes you sound like
okay, y'all. Now,
a spoiled little.
A little worried tonight, and you've got a hamster running around in your brain.
This little year 7 going around to all the year 10s and year 9s and that, going, I've got this, that, the other.
Computer or your telephone, and the spirit of the fiends is going to come rushing right through, and it's going to heal you.
Listen on LRN.FM Monday through Friday, midnight to 2 a.m. U.S. Central Time, and weekends, noon to 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time. You can watch the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at cam.lrn.fm.
So that load you're carrying is what, a nuclear missile or an old steam train, or it's a weird looking.
The right thing at the right time, standing up for the right at the right moment. They got you.
Do you ask what I was pulling?
It's really.
Yeah.
It is a.
Two steps. You have to account in your game. You have to.
Or a Russian space shuttle. I don't know.
It's a sickleback nuclear missile launcher. Russian. Doesn't surprise me, because Russians. Forgive me for saying this, but the Russians and the Americans, they might not be best friends, but they do a good job of making things as big as physically possible.
And you're under 24-hour duress while you're in their custody. As long as you.
I'm sure you'll agree.
You gotta keep that in mind.
I don't know.
All right, well, let me know what happens.
Yeah, it's typically Russian, let's say. Yeah, it looks cool, and it's nice and heavy, which means it's a bit of a challenge.
Well, welcome back to the No State Project. I guess we heard a lot of that. Some of that was... I missed my cue there, but I appreciate everyone tuning back in here to the No State Project. You want to join me, like,
Don't take it personal, but I'm gonna go back to just watching Matthew's stream for now, because I'm just drawing too many directions here.
One from California. We have Gilbert in San Francisco. Cool. Gilbert, welcome back to the...
Yeah, one thing I have already done is I've already modded my Driving Force GT pedals.
Oh, Gilbert.
What I don't get is how did you actually mod it?
Oh, my sound card couldn't have gone out again.
I've got a piece of foam in a triangle shape, and basically it's like a graph. So the more you put at the top,
Skype call, you're live on the No State Project. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The more force. So say, for example, you want it to be nice and easy, and then it gets harder as it goes down. What you do is you make it a really shallow triangle piece of foam, and then you just shove it in the back of it, in that little gap.
Let's see. I've initially heard about you on YouTube. Looks like you have information about the whole,
sticking in cord.
That's alright, but you don't get any customization.
We the people. Yeah. And I've been to court multiple times. I've had a few tickets over the years, and like I said,
with this I made 4 of them out of one sheet.
It doesn't.
And it almost worked like a graph on how I wanted it. So basically, say I'm playing a truck simulator. I made one for a truck, and then all I have to do is pull it out at the end of it, and say I'm playing a racing simulator. Well, it starts off easy, and then gets harder as you go down. So I've got a different film sheet for a different one.
Well, hey, they say that, hey,
and that's kind of how it works. Or if I'm playing a bus simulator, that's totally different to a truck.
Recently,
anything really.
I got a ticket 2 days ago at El Segundo.
Things like a robot.
Failure.
That's totally different to our truck drives. That normally doesn't have anything because the controls are quite light on them. So, that's just kind of how I have it working.
No subject matter jurisdiction. I've done some research on that also.
Oh, no, you're having a laugh.
Affirmed your stance. And
Matthew.
Definitely looking to get some guidance and direction from you on doing that. And, I definitely like to hear one of your success stories as well.
These are karaoke. Well, yeah,
guess what, everybody? I'm sure you've guessed.
It's the reason why I think that people look at me as someone who knowledgeable on the subject is because there's a tremendous amount of actual evidence on the website where people have replicated the results that I've made, and that's why. It's just because the evidence is there. And so, just like any other situation, the evidence.
That nice thing called Diesel decided to run out on me.
I'm just some schmuck from Long Island who just started looking at things more as they are and questioning doing the unthinkable. That's actually questioning the orthodox.
So now I'm in Rotterdam.
Heinous act of heresy.
Come back.
That's why on some of the videos I got the picture of the cow. It says, "For I am jurisdiction, thou shalt not challenge." So,
right.
Would I have available?
And, I'm sorry, Brian, not to cut you off, but I just wanted to state, I'm a businessman myself, and, one thing that we go by in business, because you have to be a bottom line, that's what business is, you look, it's your bottom line, and one thing we say is, documentation beats conversation any day, and just like you said, it's the results, and that's exactly one of the reasons why I'm here today, because of course anybody can get on YouTube and claim anything, but one thing that definitely sets you apart is the documentation that was obviously present. So I just want to throw that out there.
Well, I appreciate it. The other thing too is
that let's go and find some fuel from somewhere.
All I do is question somebody's argument, and I think there's really not many people who will disagree with that challenging someone's arguments on the facts and logic that it's based on is a very effective way to resolving issues. And the problem that people tend to have with me, the handful of critics out there, at least the vocal ones, is that they don't like that I challenge all the arguments, especially the foundational one, because the foundational one, jurisdiction, that their laws apply, to them that's a sacred cow, and that's why, to me, when you hear all these things, it's just more evidence that it's religious. This is a religious cult. It's pretty big, but I don't know if cult really is the right word, but it is definitely religious. It is definitely, it's a church, it's a religion, and so when you or I or somebody goes in and we just innocently ask a question, you'll hear in the call of shame. I don't think I'm being a jerk. I'm just asking some questions calmly. The response that you get is because they look at it as, to them, it's like someone's belief in God or whatever, religious belief, and just questioning it is enough to piss them off, and
I can totally agree with you, Mark. Just for the sake of remaining anonymous, I've been on the other side of the tracks for about 3 years, and I definitely, hey, I'm gonna tell you firsthand, it definitely is
I'm now gonna have to pull U-turn because the AI got in the way.
Said, just even asking a simple question. I mean, why should there be a problem with asking a question? Like they say in school. There's no such thing as a stupid question, right? But in these situations, any question is a stupid question, or essentially it's pretty much like you're going against the grain and you're automatically singled out.
Yeah.
Back in the
I agree with you on that, Mark.
Yeah, it's like when the call of shame, which will play in next hour. And
you still watching my stream?
Columbia. What they do is in their stall tactic, they start questioning your intent. I don't know what your intent is, and I said, well, it's to find out if you have any proof.
Right.
It's like you're stalling. I mean, come on, just answer the question. Who cares what my intent? I'm asking a simple question, and that's what they'll kind of use. So I have a situation that happened this week with someone I grew up with that demonstrates the religious nature of the belief in government. But I'll get to that. So you may be experiencing, well, if it more than likely will go to court, so I would recommend that you do a lot of role-playing with the script.
Seriously,
and,
bus coming down the other way.
With the motion to
Could have
dismiss,
waited
of
for me
course,
to
is
go
based
past.
on a lack of evidence. There's only one part of it that really isn't based on a lack of evidence, but the rest of it is. Let's say the 6 points. Number 6 is that it's to address a common tactic by prosecutors to straw man, where they'll turn around and you say, so our position will be in the previous 5 points that there's no evidence proving jurisdiction, that the Constitution laws apply, there's no evidence of a valid cause of action, there's no evidence of a natural adversary, and they will raise a straw man by saying, and I have examples of this on the website so people can see where I got it from and why I do this. There's a logical reason why everything is done. And so what they'll do is they'll say, well, the police have the statutory authority to enforce the traffic code. And that's not the argument. That's has nothing to do with my point. And so I put that in, knowing that is the straw man that they use, and so it says that no amount of police authority can trump the jurisdiction of the court. And they're two separate issues. So the court has jurisdiction over cases and controversies, valid cause of action. So that just because the police can write a ticket doesn't mean that the court has any jurisdiction to hear it. So I can write a complaint right now. It doesn't against Jerry Brown. Does that mean that just because I wrote the complaint and I have the statutory authority to write a civil rights complaint, does that mean the court I file it in automatically has jurisdiction?
No.
That's what they want. So that's why they raise a straw man. Because are you going to disagree? He's raising something that's technically accurate, but it's got nothing to do with the issue raised in and that's why going back what you mentioned already, Joe, is that the basic
this is becoming boring.
We're up against we'll get into the ticket and
it's just a pain in the neck.
Whatever other questions or comments you had on the other side. So just tight. My name is Mark Stevens, listening to the live edition of the No Stay Project it's October 18th, 2014. And here on the Liberty Radio Network, we'll be back.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-917-8251. 800-917-8251. 800-917-8251.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.LRN.FM. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you get $5 a month for the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Little Drums. Every bit as fun as a full-size Nestle drumstick cone, and definitely cuter. Visit us at drumstick.com. Vacations are all about family time, but you don't have to leave home to have fun. Take 1 weekend a month and devote it to family activities. Pull out the board games and puzzles, serve up some treats, or have a picnic. Even without leaving home, you'll feel like you've really had some time away. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Still saying I'm in transit.
You're listening to the live edition of the No State Project. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, October 18th, 2014. Silver is trading at $17.28 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,238 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $381. Antiwar.com reports top Israeli officials, as they tend to be every couple of months, were inconsolably outraged at Secretary of State John Kerry after Kerry said he believes that the unresolved Israeli-Palestinian peace process is a cause of recruitment for the Islamic State. Economic Minister Naftali Bennett led the official show of outrage, claiming Kerry was engaging in anti-Semitism for the comments, declaring someone will always blame the Jew. Bennett went on to claim Kerry's comments were aiding global terrorism. Other Israeli officials insisted the comments were unacceptable, largely officials who were opposed to the peace process and who were condemning Kerry for pushing it even before the Islamic State comments. The State Department tried to downplay the row, saying that they assume Israelis were given false information about what Kerry actually said and that Bennett was distorting his comments for political gain. In the spirit of Motorhome Diaries and Liberty on Tour, I intend to take the message of peace, love, and liberty on the road. To find out more about the tour or to donate, visit tour.fppradio.com.
I've come off games now, I'm a bit tired. So stay on for another 10-15 minutes and I'll come off.
The Associated Press reports same-sex marriage became legal in Arizona on Friday, a sharp turn for a state that became a battleground in the clash over gay rights less than a year ago when the state legislature passed a bill allowing businesses to deny services to gays and lesbians. Same-sex couples lined up to marry at the courthouse in downtown Phoenix immediately after Attorney General Tom Horne announced that the state would not challenge a federal court decision that cleared the way for same-sex unions in the state. The decision bookends 2 weeks of non-stop court rulings across the nation, with judges striking down bans on same-sex unions and conservative state officials pushing back in a struggle that has increasingly gone in favor of same-sex marriage supporters. Since October 6th, when the U.S. Supreme Court let stand rulings that struck down same-sex marriage bans, same-sex couples have begun to wed in several new states. In the West, for example, couples have since tied the knot in Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, and Nevada, making Montana the lone state under the jurisdiction of the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, where same-sex couples cannot legally wed. The federal government, meanwhile, announced on Friday that it will recognize same-sex marriage in 7 new states and extend federal benefits to those couples, which brings the total number of states where same-sex unions have federal recognition to 26, plus the District of Columbia. Based on the flurry of recent court decisions, including separate decisions Friday that apply to Arizona and Alaska, more than 30 states now extend marriage rights to same-sex couples. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. Reuters reports Hong Kong pro-democracy activists recaptured parts of a core protest zone early on Saturday, defying riot police who had tried to disperse them with pepper spray and baton charges. About 1,000 protesters, some wearing protective goggles and helmets, helped to build fresh barricades from wooden fencing and other materials in the gritty, densely populated Mong Kok district. Some chanted "Black Police" after the police used small metal batons to strike umbrellas belonging to the demonstrators. Demonstrators chanting "Open the Road" tried late on Friday to break through multiple police lines using umbrellas as a shield from pepper spray at a major traffic intersection. 26 people were arrested and 15 officers were injured. The protesters are demanding free elections for their leader in 2017, but China insists on screening candidates first, and Hong Kong's leader reiterated that the government would not compromise. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Thomas the Tank Engine says he's a little uneasy with his broad autistic following, and a couple has a nest egg of debt to make sure they've got some money to owe down the road. This is the Onion Week in Review. Local video editor James Korf told reporters Wednesday that despite having said goodbye over 10 minutes ago, his friend, Michael Woodward, still remained active on Gchat and had shown no signs of leaving.
If it were yellow, it would mean that he hasn't been on the computer for a little while, or if it was red, it would mean he doesn't want to talk.
I'm not going to get
It's green, I can tell. I can
You
see
should
it.
remember Matthew and Wayne next
Said that he
weekend.
felt briefly relieved when Woodward's chat logo turned orange,
Yeah,
and was
You
once
need to
again
get all the
ejected when it became green
Steam is the
within
best
seconds. And in this week's op-ed pages, a high school guidance counselor laments the fact that no one in his entire damn school has been molested. In other news, a bedbug feels bad for an area man, but a bug's gotta eat. A development exec wants to see what, where, and how that would look, live, and play out. And a man at the gym is just watching TV. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
Yeah, this time next week.
Yes, welcome back to the No State Project.
I'll be able to record
Mark Stevens, the website, markstevens.net. And you're listening to the live edition of the No State Project, of course, October 18th, 2014, live from the Fortified Campground in Mesa, Arizona, where, of course, you too, if you blaspheme and you ask the valued police officers, people who have no volunteer support, by the way, if you ask them a simple question to prove that the laws that they apply to peaceful people every day, you too can be classified as a threat to officer safety and have several felonies committed against you. But welcome back. Don't actually recommend that people go into the police stations or on traffic stops. Cops, it's just. I'll talk about it later. Most cops are just too far gone. They're just. It's not even worth it. But I want to welcome back Joe from Los Angeles. We're talking with him.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about the actual ticket. So you did something pretty horrible, and I'm glad that I wasn't actually in, the Southern California area when you went on this rampage.
Yes. You're right. I did something horrible, horrendous. Just, I'm thinking.
Unspeakable. Wow. Right. Yeah, it's okay. So you got this code, and is this in? You said was it in Los Angeles where you got the ticket?
Yeah, it's actually in El Segundo, which is a beach city adjacent to Los Angeles.
Every time I hear El Segundo, it makes me laugh, and I know it's kind of silly, but if for those who remember the Sanford and Son, there was always a lot of jokes about El Segundo, and he just always made me laugh. I always thought he was funny, his mannerisms. So even if I didn't even understand what the context of the joke was, because Red Fox was saying it, damn it, it was funny. And so,
right.
Okay, so it's in El Segundo, and you got 2 days ago. So all right, so you know how I do things. Well, let me ask you, would there be any evidence on the ticket itself?
Yeah, definitely tomorrow evening, probably 11 tomorrow morning it'll be, because I've got to do some recording.
No.
Yeah. Are you
I suspect you'll be doing the same, won't you?
Where they could use that against you?
No. I'm no longer.
I've got to my own car, so.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Is that what you
So you might not be able to mine?
No.
Yeah, at one point in time I worked on.
That does mean I can record more.
PHS.
Oh my God.
Border Patrol? Particular time, yes.
Oh.
But we can discuss that
like,
okay.
But that's what I meant
past 11 in the morning, so.
Yeah, we had a checkpoint when I came back from California. It was actually in Arizona, which is it's usually, on the California side of 10.
Well, let me just say this, Mark.
I actually prefer to relax on the same day.
A lot of, let me just say, one of the main reasons why I'm in that capacity is because I
agree.
I saw
yeah, I mean, nothing personal to the family,
it's
just
not
I'd rather
about
speak
protecting the borders, it's not about protecting the homeland. It's really a big joke. And like I said, that I'm the type of person.
Yeah, I mean, once I'm awake anyway, so
And if I'm gonna stand for something, it has to be, it has to be for a good cause. It has to be morally right. And so, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That's fine. I wasn't laying down some harsh judgment on you. I'm glad you're not doing it anymore. Well, let me ask you one question about it.
Sure.
And this is something that agency, advertises at these checkpoints, and it was no different on I-10, 10 miles west of Quartzsite, for those who are familiar. It's right by the. They set it up this time right by the checkpoint. Well, the way station.
Yeah, I'm just installing Photoshop again so I can do my own work for ICT.
Did you see large
I've got that to do this weekend.
Drugs being taken from people?
Because I've got to make a logo for my GCSE, and because I'm an Adobe fanboy, I want to do it in Photoshop.
That seemed to be a big motivating factor.
Of course.
Okay. I appreciate you, Candace's responses. All right, now getting back to the ticket. What we have in California, for those who aren't familiar, it's not always called a motion to dismiss. I mean, you can have certain motions to dismiss, but at the stage you're at now, they call it still a demur. So a demur to the complaint, and one of the legal basis for a demur is, of course, that there's not sufficient facts to set forth an offense. They'll fight with you and say that just saying you violated the law is enough to set forth facts. There's not sufficient facts on that.
And now I've got to install some photo editing software. Not photo editing, video
alleging
editing.
I violated the law somehow evidence that the law applies to me in the first place? No.
Right.
Oh, it's not.
Right.
Then you have failed to set forth sufficient facts to constitute an offense. The demur must be sustained. That's the technical aspect of it. So it's based on lack of evidence. They will, if you actually go in and speak with the prosecutor, they will try to get away from that. But it's right there in their own statute what the basis of demur consists of, and that's one of them. And
so
that's
this show is not
we've had them granted.
Saturday,
Saturday people you can go and you can look up. Like Adam, for example, had the demur granted. So there are those who will say, you just got tickets go now because cops didn't show up.
Sorry.
That
You're questioning me, yeah. But if you go to his website, he's got the archives there. You can download them too, past shows.
The evidence is on the website. So that's the way I would do it. But I urge you to prep for court because you're more than likely you're going to have to go.
Okay.
And so you may actually get a hearing on the demur, or you can argue the demur, or support the demur at an initial hearing, arraignment, and it's your opportunity, of course, to put the prosecution on the spot. It's always putting the prosecutor on the spot. What evidence has the prosecution provided to support this argument?
Right. And you know, like I said, with me, being on the other side, I've always, even when it came to traffic, like, okay, yeah, these are laws, I'm supposed to follow these, and a few years back, 2 years ago, I got a ticket and I just paid it. It came up to about $1,200. But in any case, yeah, I know it's ridiculous, right? But like I said, after having that experience and being in court and seeing the judge, no matter what the person's excuse was or how they argued their reason or whatever, and time after time, each person, the judge is guilty. I'm like, okay, this is not fair. This can't be right. This can't be honest.
Right,
like I said, it can't be fair. And we all have right to a fair trial and that sort of thing. So once again, that's why I'm coming to you for help, because prior to just a few years ago, my eyes had not been open to see the system for what it actually really is, which is an extortion,
yes, said this stream
or
will be
highway
uploaded
robbery.
to YouTube.
you know,
unless I get video recorded tomorrow,
put it in not so bad terms.
Well, sure, and I think the evidence is pretty
I'll
clear
tell you off with it by tomorrow afternoon.
Look, if your job depends on forcible taking of property from other people, you're gonna have some moral issues with that. So if your pension or your salary as a DHS or cop, whatever happens to be, if it relies on forcing people to give money, then you're going to have a real problem with moral issues, because you have to maintain a double standard. There's no way that you can you can't do your job otherwise.
Exactly.
It's amazing to me how people can, and I'm not exempting myself from this. I just think that my contradictions are, well, I'm biased. They're not as bad. It's just that I've actually spoken to people, and they agree that forcing people to give you money is wrong. But they don't seem to exhibit any kind of outward problem with the fact that that's exactly how they're paid. You know,
right. Right.
But their family, they go, look, it's my family. I got to feed my children. So if I have to suck it up, and then I'm going to do that. I can't be a moral guy when it comes to feed my family. Well, okay, at least you're being honest about it. Hold on, just a second. My name is Mark Stevens. You're listening to the No State Project here on.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone. 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
Are you a political activist who does things that the government might not like? Then this free ebook may save your life. Rats is your guide to protecting yourself against snitches, informers, informants, agents provocateur, narcs, finks, and similar vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe. Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photos, cell phones, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe.
The idiot's put his
a lot of
mod review of his silly T-series up on him with his skin.
Mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm.
I don't know, I think a couple of hours ago I thought
Saturday night.
You've seen it.
From there, I went on doing the Free State Project and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amped is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on the
T-Series with a
I never would have
skin.
found the ideas of Liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. Find out about giving to our Google AdWords campaign at amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com.
So, you know, I use the back button on the mouse on the side as a push to talk, so sometimes if I accidentally hit the mic, that's what it is. I'm just going back a page or something. I apologize. I usually try to use the arrow or something.
Alright.
Yes, welcome back to the No State Project. Live from the fortified compound in Phoenix, Arizona. Mesa, Arizona, actually, but the Phoenix Valley, where it is an astoundingly gorgeous day. Ugh, if it wasn't for that damn dog, I would do the show outside. Anyway, welcome back. The website is markstevens.net. Glad to be with you here. Remember, Libertopia is fast approaching, and I'm really looking forward to that. And it looks like, we don't know for sure, but it looks like we may actually be treated once again to Calvin's company. He is real. He is real. I know that's some doubt. But he was there last year for the unveiling of the book, and hopefully he will be able to make it there this year. That's going to be starting November 13th and running to the 16th. I will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Nice to get away. And California, it's nice, as we heard the calls, it's nice to visit, but it's always so great to get back to Arizona, even if I got to go through one of those ridiculous checkpoints. And they just look to see if you're white. That's all they're doing. Oh, he's pasted white. Go ahead, sir. That's all they do. Anyway, you can join me here on the big show. It's 218-632-9399. 218-632-9399. We're going to try Gilbert in San Francisco again. See, he's been very patient. Gilbert, welcome back to the No State Project. I can hear the background.
Yeah, basically, you know, I'm blue skiing next Easter, Matthew.
Maybe Gilbert's calling in just to listen.
Yeah, the teacher's running the trip.
Gilbert? Yeah, we'll see what we can do about getting Gilbert off air. But we have Joe, who's been on the show
asked me
before.
if
Joe
I can
from
take my
Illinois.
action camera
Joe, welcome back
if I
to
get
the
it
show.
for Christmas.
Hey, Mark,
And
it's great to speak with
video
you
it,
again.
and then we're going to get some action cameras for everyone else.
Bring you up to speed
And I'm going to
what's
edit it while I'm
happening
there. So I'm just trying to
obviously
download everything ready. Even though it's months and months away, I need to get some stuff done. Because I'm going to be editing
really
right from the next time we go to Chill Factor, which is in about like 3 weeks' time or something.
What's going on here. But as you may recall, I got 3 charges, all of which were against me when I walked into court for a friend of mine.
I'm away the first
showing
week
up
of
late,
Easter,
and he just
which means I'm away for Easter
asked by the
Sunday.
courthouse and let the prosecutor know that he was coming, but he was late. While there, they grabbed me,
and then you come back on
and
I go away the Friday night.
Identify myself, took me to jail, told me if I didn't cooperate, I was going to be there.
Come back I'll be back on the Sunday.
They charged me with driving without a seatbelt, operating a vehicle without insurance.
I think
and,
I might pop on Saturday night if I'm not tired.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've been causing all manner of mayhem here in Illinois. I think me and Charlie Manson should probably get together in a support group. But in any case, the only way I was able to get out of jail without paying excessive fines is I had been schooled a long time ago in a writ of habeas
Like an entire night's
and I had enough sense of it to be able to write one that looked close enough to what is proper to have the police
I'm going to be pretty shattered.
release me in my own recognizance.
Because I'll be awake.
I've
got a night travelling. Like, I'm travelling overnight. And I'll be editing videos and stuff, so I'll be absolutely shattered by the time the night's over.
Any more about it than the next guy. I'm kind of learning as I go. But Basically, I like to
Trust
tell
me, when
them,
I get
look,
back
if
off
I
that trip,
haven't
I will
hurt
sleep
anybody,
during the day, no matter what.
and in this case, I mean, it goes beyond that. Not only have I not hurt anybody, but
I'll probably just get some kip and make sure that I can get to sleep.
Literally doing nothing. And the tickets, you read them, they're absolutely ridiculous because he accuses me of doing 2 code violations.
Will you stop shouting at the top of your flipping voice?
The date and the time are the exact same.
Yes, you
and
are.
Then he accuses me of being a police officer a month earlier, which I have absolutely no clue what this is all about. In any case, after meeting with your standard lawyer, who all told me that I will lose, it's just a matter of getting them involved so they can negotiate a settlement for me. To myself, why do I need those people if I'm going to lose? Why would I pay somebody thousands of dollars just to lose for me?
Alright.
So that's when I started doing some research online. I came across your stuff. I'm not 100% familiar with your approach, but from what I've read so far, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, if I haven't harmed anybody,
I don't see why I need to go on a
what's the problem? So what I'd like to do, if it's possible, because I think I'm not 100% sure as to exactly how this argument works, is that, as you say, there's no proof that the laws, or show me the proof that the Constitution laws of the state apply to me. And I've read through some of their statutes, and of course there's a lot of stuff in there about, who it applies to and so forth.
Right.
So if it's possible, what I'd like to do is maybe role play this with you a little bit. I'll play the prosecution, and maybe you can play me, and see if we can figure this one out together.
Well, sure. Let me go back. I got some questions first, and we got plenty of time.
Okay.
You're just starting to believe that they're psychopaths? I think that's what you mentioned.
No. I'm trying to be nice. I mean, I'd like to think, and kind of like your last caller, along the same lines, I'd like to think there's good people in the system. Unfortunately, what I've realized is that the system tries to push those good people out.
Yeah.
Because we don't want somebody in this system that has concern for individuals' rights. I mean, it truly looks to me like from the judges on down, everybody has just a callous disregard for what are supposedly your fundamentally protected rights. I mean, and I'm not a criminal. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I do everything from buckle my seatbelt to, square my corners at the intersection. Even though there'll be no cars there,
I've got lots of different things on the go at once. My computer's struggling.
So
purely simply because I've got TeamSpeak running, it takes up far too much processing power. I'm just looking through one of my external hard drives now, and I've just found all my old documents from when I did the production at school, from when I did all the sound and lighting for it. That was a long time ago. That's about 2 years ago. I was like mid-year 7 when I did that production. Just like all my UK Truck Simulator saves and my Euro Truck Mode saves. And then like the digital designer stuff. I do need to install it properly, but I haven't bothered yet because I'm lazy.